Hi everyone, it's Sister Jenna from America Meditating Radio. I hope you've been enjoying Wiseish, which you can get live on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube from 8:30 a.m. to 8:45. But you can also get it on demand 24/7. It's going to be your power boost for the morning. It's your daily dose for the soul. It's just going to encourage you to make the day that much more valuable. So join us. Looking forward to seeing you.
We find our nation on a precipice, true tipping point. Is this the moment that will finally change our country? Trying to rain on the thunder. Tell the storm I'm new. I'ma rain on this little love. Tell the sweet I'm new.
It's not a broken system. It was built to function exactly as it is.
We must respond with bold action.
This is our country too. We can build new systems that do what they should.
Come a walk, come a march on the regular.
We are united. We are standing.
Follow away.
And we are going to fight this fight.
Freedom, I can't move. Freedom, cut me loose. I break chains all by myself.
There is something happening across this country.
When we work and when we fight and when we march and when we speak up and when we offer solutions, we win.
I'ma keep on running cause a winner don't quit on themselves.
It's always the right time to celebrate women and black women in particular.
It is an opportunity to show the nation and the world that we will act. It has been an inspiration.
You have the choice, and it is that choice that gives you power.
Vote. Vote like your life depends on it because it does.
That is what we need next. Action.
Hi everybody, it's Karen Drucker here, and I love listening to America Meditating with Sister Jenna. Don't you?
Hi everyone, I'm Sister Jenna. Welcome to our special Zoom meditation segments. Look, it's no joke. Things are kind of weird. It's just weird. Pandemics, protests, job insecurity, global pause. Everyone's numb, but also everyone's searching. And they might be searching on this little gadget of Zoom in a little box. People from all over the world who don't know each other are coming together in Zoom rooms to figure out who they are, why they're here, and how to meditate. Meditation is something that we've often thought that if we make our minds empty, we've meditated. I don't believe that. I think it's important that we learn how to channel our thoughts in a right way that are connected to our vision, our goal, our spiritual attainments, our mental capacity. Then you're really meditating. Om Shanti everyone. Welcome to your Spiritual Vaccine Hour. I'm your host, Sister Jenna, and this is
Dr. Kanu Kogod.
We're back again. We're back again. Really feeling quite inspired and fired up to be very selfless, even more selfless than I have been in service. As we approach this particular time for voting and this initiative of owning your own vote, to own your own voice, to put yourself at the table, that if you don't go out and vote, you're not on the table. You're not there to make a decision. And so the importance of us really going to those polls or do early voting and mail in your vote, which is what we have done. We've registered for that already.
Yes.
And it's funny, we didn't know we were doing it, but we both did our registration for mail-in votes yesterday. So you see how good thoughts travel. We're at a particular period in time that we need to understand the importance of service. And service not just based on your comfort zones, not just based on what you have or what is available for you that you will show up and help out, but in what ways we can actually extend ourselves and do it just from the heart, but also knowing that opportunities to give and to be of service offers us something in return that's bigger than what we could ever imagine. And that when we're really showing up for the service at hand, it's not necessarily for what I'm getting. I am getting something. I'm getting the fact that I'm happy that I'm being used for something good. And I immediately feel the result of that. I told you because of my health opportunity, and to all of you, I know I sent a message of today's program to all of my friends and healers who've been there for me during this particular period. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You showed up so selflessly in a particular way that, you know, it wasn't giving you perhaps physically anything in return other than you knew that you just wanted your sister to be okay and to be strong and to be out there in service. And I know that, and Kanu was also in my healing group, and I know that in our giving of these good vibrations and good wishes, we were receiving something in return. I know that they were. And that wasn't why everybody was showing up to send their good wishes, to pause every day at 10:30. They would come together and just, if it was just a second or a minute or two, to send those vibrations out, to be in service to me. I was just so humbled by that. And even though I could send a dozen roses to everyone, I'd be bankrupt, so I can't. But I'm just glad that everyone was able to be available for me in that capacity, and what I had to offer in return was just my love and support and humility. That was a huge offering and gift for me. So I just want to take this time to acknowledge Kanu and all of you out there that it's been a real rock for me. All of my friends in the Brahma Kumaris, my Brahma Kumaris family members. Indu, I want to give you a shout out. I know you came by today and you kind of look like you're a little bit upset. Why didn't you tell us we're family? And the reason why I specifically didn't is that I didn't want you all to worry. And it's not that I don't like my other friends, that they would worry for me. But I just felt like I know how close we are as a Brahma Kumari community and a family, Indu. And I really made that very difficult decision to hold this with myself and with my doctors, that we wouldn't have to offer you anything. And so Indu said to me, yeah, but then we knew something was wrong, but you didn't tell us. And I said, only if you were my surgeon did you need to know what was going on. Because actually, we sometimes just want to get into each other's business. Oh, what is it? Is it that she needs a new leg? Is it that she needs a new eye? You know? And then with the Brahma Kumari community, they're like, oh, she needs a new eye, then she must be not seeing pure, seeing in a good way. And so what I wanted to do is just not have that. And I know that all of you out there, all of my BK family in Washington especially and around the world, I know you trust the choices that I make, or else I wouldn't be the person that I am today. And most of the choices that I make is selfless. There are times I want to tell you everything because you know my mouth is big. And Santos sometimes goes, sister, you didn't need to say that. I go, I know, I just can't help myself. I just did a 45 on you. It's just that sometimes my heart just feels so big that I feel like I belong to everyone and everyone belongs to me. And I just don't have that sort of a sensitivity in folks knowing too much. But for some reason, I just felt like this needed to be held in sacred silence for a while until we really built that energy and made that decision. And it was just, everything was just been so smooth and so easy. And again, as I mentioned to most of you who met Sister Lakshmi, having her here has been incredible for me to continue and to keep on. Yesterday I was a little bit tired, and so I wasn't able to do the show. And I was sorry to miss and be with you yesterday. But again, I'm trying not to push myself, and I'm learning from Kanu, Dr. Kogod. I'm learning to honor the temple, like how she puts it, everyone. You have to honor your temple. It's sacred. It's beautiful. And I go, yeah, whatever. Can we just move on already, right? So she took me for all of my vitamin C's and all my injections and my B's and my D's and A's. Like, I actually know my alphabet after today, okay? I've been poked and pinched so much today, it's not even funny. But I feel great, and I feel really, really super great. So Kanu stepped up, and without even a question, selfless service. This is what you need to do. I gave her all of my records. She said, okay, let's see. Well, we have to build this. We have to get this. We've got to get your immunity going. We've got to do that. And I just trusted her, and I just knew that whatever she would decide to do would be fine. And that's where I came from. And so she would just, I wouldn't say she would go out of her way, but kind of says, let me come and pick you up because you're not going to go on your own. Whatever I have to do, I will change my routine.
Yes.
I will change my routine and make sure this date is fixed. And I'm like, okay. And I would roll my eyes. And I roll my eyes like, okay. I'm just not focused so much on the body, and you know that.
Yes.
And I've had to learn how to do that. So Dr. Kogod has taught me to continue to understand that selfless service can also mean serving your own temple, your own body. Because it's not that you want anything in return for the servicing of your body, but the servicing of your body is a sign of your self-worth and self-respect, something that you've been given by nature and the universe to honor and to respect. So thanks for joining us tonight. Now, while we were in the car coming home today, we were talking about this topic of selfless service.
Yes.
And you told me a really endearing story about your mom. And I was just curious if you could share that with our friends in our community that are watching in, because I think it proves a lot about the power of selfless service. And the video we're going to show afterwards, again, I feel might invoke in us the ability to move more towards a path of being in service and not wanting anything in return.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I'd be happy to tell this story again. I was in probably 34 at the time that my mother passed. She was only 59 years old. And I saw my mother as a beautifully refined person, and she was beautiful, and she was very refined. And there was a way of being that I didn't really realize. There was a kind of I took her for granted. And I didn't realize who she was in the community and who she was at large. And that really changed me on her passing, because in Judaism, most of the time when people die, they're taken to a funeral home and you have a funeral service, and then the person is laid to rest. And then there's 7 days of people coming over to your house and seeing, giving you well wishes, bringing you food for the grieving. For my mother, her funeral was at the synagogue, and it was packed. So many people came, and it was an unusual thing for it to be at the synagogue. And people said things about her and talked about her in a way that I never knew who she was that way. I mean, I saw that she would keep gifts at the top of the closet, and whenever people would come over, she had a gift for somebody. As they leave, they didn't leave empty-handed. So she always had something for people, and I saw that, but I didn't know that she was such a huge person in the community, that she had helped so many people, and the way that they spoke about her, it really woke me up. And I thought to myself, nobody would ever speak about me that way in my funeral if I don't change. There was a kind of a selfishness that it's not a selfishness like I wasn't generous. It was more like being self-involved. Like, what's good for me? I'll do what's good for me, kind of that, a little sense of maybe entitlement. Like I deserve to have things for me. And my mother really showed me that was very different.
Not the way to go.
Not the way to go. And then, you know, along with my spiritual practices and learning about seva and understanding the meaning of selfless service to give the fruits of your action over, it really, in the last, probably the last 10 years, especially when I was doing my work was no longer about work to work for the sake of work.
Mm-hmm. And getting an income.
It was the joy of serving so many people and being able to see so many people's lives change, and the insights that people got and the growth that people had in their lives. And it was such a wonderful feeling, and I felt that I was in flow. And I think that's the gift that I got from my mother, and at the same time got from spiritual practice, and really offering, maybe not so much very pure, and then growing into the love of it, you know, just truly growing into the love of it.
I forgot where I saw this research, where in a company they were showing how employees who kept getting raises did less. And people who were volunteering in particular movements or nonprofits, they would do 10 times more.
Yeah.
And the question was, why is it that when people are getting money to do what they're asked to do, they do less of it, and versus somebody who's just volunteering and has no strings, so to speak, other than I'm showing up because I want to.
Yes.
And we have worked on the America Meditating Radio now for 7 years straight, unstoppable. And every time we've done stuff together, everyone, we were just in sync, and I would never think that when Kanu and I would do something together, I had to give her a paycheck. It was just always like, and she must be like, I wish you did.
I know.
And I was thinking to myself that, is that why everything always went so smooth, you know, that we're not thinking about the money in between, we're thinking about the seva. And even as much as she would come in and offer, she would always give a donation to Baba's box when she would come, or she would mail something for Baba and say, this is for Baba. And she would never want anything in return. And neither one of us would ever take advantage of that selflessness, because we knew we were preparing our fortune for the future, and it had nothing to do with what I was getting back in return.
So true.
And then nothing. We came across this video which we wanted to show everyone because we thought it had a great significance regarding our conversation for this evening. So check it out, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more what you thought about the video. Okay, I don't know about the mother, but I would have been totally confused. I'd have been losing it. But what an adorable video.
Yes.
What did you interpret? And those of you who are watching, put in the comments right now, what did you learn or pick up from that video? Kanu, what did you get from that?
I loved how the whole family was involved. They were involved from the beginning of saving him.
Yeah.
I think he's a him because he was wearing masculine man
clothes. Yeah,
man
it was
clothes,
a girl, should have been
whatever.
A tutu or something.
Adorable. And just saving him, and it's as if he was returning the favor. He learned so much. He was watching, he was watchful. How can I help? How can I be a part of the family? How can I contribute? It was just a beautiful way of showing that this spirit, this energetic presence is alive in all of us. We all want to be connected. We all want to be feeling that we're a part of something so much bigger. And that family gave him that, and they became his true family.
I mean, I'm thinking about the teenagers like Akshay. Hi, Akshay. I don't know if you're on tonight. But the fact that he would watch to see how can I be of service.
Yeah.
And he would go ahead to get things done before the family members would come.
Yeah.
That he would help out in that way. And to me, that was showing the enormous amount of love he held in him. It's just an animal.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
But his spirit is so alive. I mean, there's only, I think, 2% difference in us and them.
Brain,
yeah,
isn't that amazing?
Not much.
I don't know how much difference is in my brain.
Not much difference.
Today we were getting our drips, and I was like, oh, I just feel not so smart today. And she was just looking at me.
Because she's smart every day
and
wise.
But it was just so interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
But how he just knew what was needed before the person asked.
Can I tell you? I'll tell you guys a story. I'm going to tell on you now.
Uh-oh.
About giving before being asked. So we're going to get our infusions, right? And Sister Jenna brings things to the people. She's got a do not disturb. She's got a beautiful CD to meditate for meditation for each person who's there, right? And she's giving them gifts, and they're all like, oh, thank you, that's so nice. It just totally, wherever you go, you spread that. So I think
that's
you
because
are.
Of Baba. No, that's Baba's training. I can't take any credit.
You're the instrument, and that's why your body is so important, the Chappell.
Yeah, whatever. We'll talk about that later off camera. But here's what we think. So I don't know what some of the comments are. I don't know if there's anything there that you want to share with us, because I feel we need to move towards this place, everyone. We need to move towards a place of selfless service, because you could see that when the family found out who was doing all of this good in the house, Akshay, remember when you were here yesterday, you were so determined to clean the deck, and you stayed with that power wash on the deck for what, 3 hours? You even got a little cut on your foot because you put the water on it, but you kept at it and you kept at it until the very end. And you kept doing. That whole day he came and he was just doing. And he wasn't saying, okay, now, sister, you're going to give me some food? You're giving me a blessing? You're giving me what? He was like, no, that was so much fun. And I believe that's what selfless service is all about. We need to move towards a particular phase in our lives that we don't keep doing something with the expectation that I must get something in return. And I think what has become a staple for the Brahma Kumaris community is that every time anyone comes into the community, they know something is going to be bestowed, and we don't want anything but for you to become stronger and a better citizen for the world. That's our only expectation, the main one at least in return. So even with that, we have to let that go. We can't even have still that feeling, because that would pollute the purity of the seva, the purity of the service that we're offering. And that means we have to show up in a very neutral place. We spoke about neutrality today, that whatever we do, it can't be that I'm doing it for good or for bad. Just to stay neutral isn't always the easiest place to be, but it is the place of soul awareness.
It is. It is the place of soul awareness. It's the surrender to something bigger and something greater. We were talking about sacrifice. And what does it really mean to sacrifice something? It means that you're not thinking about yourself, you're giving over something, but it's not an act of feeling less than. It's an act of giving more. And so much comes back in the giving more. So much comes back in the giving more. So let me ask you a question. What does it mean to be neutral in the giving?
Wow.
What does neutrality actually mean in the giving?
My instant response is that I'm so into the awareness and the remembrance of Baba for me, which is the complete sentient state of the soul, right? So I'm in this experience, I'm in the embodiment of Baba's love that I've been taking in for a long time, that I've been remembering. And the soul has reached a place that it's embodied a lot of those experiences of love and peace. So even as I'm doing things, I don't even think about it. I don't think about it at the time especially, and even if somebody does something later on, I just like, you know, what to do. What's the appreciation? So I feel like it has to do with the accumulation that you have developed over a period of time of your remembrance that you are God's child and that you belong to Source. I love when the traffic control music comes on. Huh?
Yeah.
So every hour on the hour in the Brahma Kumaris, we pause for world peace, to send vibrations to somewhere across the world, to let that peaceful energy just connect to that part in the world where there's suffering, or selfless service. So let us all send vibrations to somewhere around the world today. Is that Africa? Where is that?
Yeah, that's Africa over here.
So to the continent of Africa.
This is Latin America here, and Africa over here.
Okay, so this is what? North America. Okay, let's go to Latin America and send vibrations, everyone. So selfless service. Maybe the folks in Latin America had no idea that there were people in the USA and different parts of the world that paused for them for a moment of love and reflection and protection and peace. What do we get in return? Our own peace of mind, our own feeling. So I have a question for you.
Okay.
Why have we developed the habit of doing service with a motive?
I think it comes from how, I honestly think that it comes from how we were raised and how we get socialized into the world, and that we have to really learn selfless service. I mean, think about it. In school, if you did well, you got a grade, and you got an A if you were really good, and you got an F if you were really bad, you failed. And you start to build up this accumulation of, okay, I'm going to do things in order to get an A. I'm going to do things in order to get a star. I'm going to do things in order, and then it just translates, I'm going to do things in order to get some money. You know, my self-worth is so tied up with my money, and the more money I have, the more I can show all the A's that I've gotten, you know, all the good that I've accumulated, you know, by showing that I'm really worthwhile. That's my feeling. It's such a way that we're socialized, and I think we really have to learn through our own experience, and I think it's empathy that gives us that. Empathy that shows us that, okay, I feel what you're feeling. I want to offer you something because I feel like you need air conditioning, you need a glass of water, can I serve you? Just for the love of it, just to give, you know. I love the whole concept of pay it forward.
Yes, yes.
You know, and then seeing how if you pay the person's toll in the toll booth behind you. Isn't that so great? Yeah. And then they all pay behind them, and oh, that's where the person behind. It's such a great concept.
And it's interesting when you observe the way you feel when you've given something without an expectation. You've just said, I'm God's child, so I have a lot to give. So let me be of service. Not even let me serve you, but of service.
There goes Happy.
There goes Happy, and Sister Gita's dancing up the steps. So let's read some of your comments that we're seeing online, and kind of let's hear what everyone is saying.
Okay.
So Mercedes in Peru, thank you, sister. I'm in South America holding the energy.
Yay! We hope you're safe, Mercedes.
So could you feel the vibrations, Mercedes? Selfless. We weren't expecting you to give us something in return, but all right, we'll take it. Louise, everyone has a divine role to play in the community. Yes. Yes. And so for the monkey, it was like he was a son to them at the end, right? He became a very big part of the family. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm just trying to get some of the messages of today. Piper, so nice to have you on, Piper Dullums.
Hi,
so
Pip.
good. Congratulations on your beautiful letter from the synagogue and the message that you gave. I don't question their ability to believe in the work that you do. Kanu's also. Piper's on.
It's nice to hear that you're on, Piper. Hello, and you do such beautiful work. I saw a video you did for Elaine. Ah, precious, fantastic.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, Rally, I hope you're doing well and hanging in there. I know you're doing much better. I know you're doing much better because I know Baba's got your back. So you're in gratitude for what we do for you every day. Honestly, Raleigh, we're just showing up. And again, why I think a lot of people will say to us, why do you do this every day? Don't you want to cut it down? And I don't know if Santosh is going to smirk at me when I tell him the story, but you know, after my surgery and everything, he's such a worry puss. Oh my God. I swear, this young man should have been like 89 by now, the way that he thinks like a dada. So he's like, you need to rest, you don't need to do. And I'm like in my mind, look, what am I going to do after 5:30, 6 o'clock at night? I'm here to be of service. And there was something that happened around the dinner table when he was like, well, we should take a break. And in my mind, the first words out of my mouth, Santosh, was, you know, when you break the consistency, what happens, remember? Like what happens when you break a consistent flow, it's like everything falls apart and you're trying to find the rhythm back and you can't find it until it goes back into a cycle. Mm-hmm. It's a very interesting energy. Yeah. So even as we kind of, you know, we slow down on doing some of the shows live every day because I'm healing, and I'm still healing, believe it or not.
This is what healing looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I was sharing with Kanu, life is so weird, you know, like if I walked around the house dragging my body like, oh my God, oh, how much more pain does a person have to endure? Everybody will be around me like, yeah, come, let me take care of you. But I just go to Baba and I go, Baba, body is separate from the Atma. Atma is fine. Get this body going, right? So folks would look at me like, you look okay. I go, yeah, I am. Like, I am. This is it. I am. But we were saying today how people will come to your aid when they see you in the state of a victim. And when they see that you're okay in a way, they go, oh, she's okay. No, I still need your support. I still need your love. I still need your care. Isn't it the way we're supposed to be? We should be doing selfless service to the self, that we're not walking around as a victim, but we're walking around using our resilience and our strengths. So that was my thought. So some comments on Facebook. Let's see. Darlene, Om Shanti. Okay, nice to have you. So what you see, you repeat, and there is a love and a gratitude in the family. All right, nice, all right. The video actually, so they're talking about the video that we watched.
Yes.
So the video shows giving back the good gestures that the monkey received from the family. Yes. So Sudha says, my mother was a selfless server. 20 years after her death, even today, people remember her service.
Sudha, beautiful, beautiful. Isn't it great to know you had a role model like that? That's how I feel about my mom. I'm so glad you shared that. Thanks, Sudha.
Cousins and family members from London are remembering her mom, how much she used to give them food, used to feed everyone, used to help with Seva, money, learn from her, so much try to follow her always. It's been pure love and a surrender to humanity. Hello from Brazil, Nimi. Nice to have you. Yolanda, nice to have you. Priya, beautiful. You're an awesome. I'm a 9-year-old and I love your speeches a lot. Hello, Priya. Glad you're watching at 9. Woohoo! Future leader for tomorrow. All right. Beautiful. Keep it up. Betty Brown, always great to join you. And precious humor. Yeah, I know. We're a riot, aren't we?
Hi, Betty.
Hey, Betty. All right. So, wonderful. We have another video that we could show, which we thought was cute. And I don't know why we end up, how weird, we end up showing a lot of videos with animals. Are there any human beings out there that are doing something?
Yeah, that's true. We picked a monkey and then a dog.
Yeah, like
that's like the animals who are so loyal and who love us and give so much back. And yeah, they are completely pure in their love and attention. We have something to learn from them.
Where are all the human beings in their selfless service is what I want to know. So let's take a look at this video and enjoy it. I was just saying Happy would not do that for me. Happy would more expect me to bring the umbrella for her, for me to cover her, because she's like a little priss. But I loved the way, even though the dog was looking at like the meat and trying to get for the food, and it was like there was a scene that captured me, and she said like, no, 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 I need to get an umbrella for my master. And even though she went to play with the master just didn't have the energy, right? And she was like, oh man, but it's raining. And then she sees this guy with the umbrella, and then she goes in to get the umbrella to give to the master, right? This was very powerful.
Very powerful.
She was like, not about me right now.
Yeah.
This isn't about me. I have to look out for my master so he gets, what would you say about that? That was powerful.
I think that was so powerful. It's hard. I mean, can you imagine the instinct that we all have to grab what looks beautiful in the moment? Like, give me the pleasure that I seek in the moment instead of the long-term selfless giving that precious dog gave. And it reminded me of the marshmallow test.
Tell me about that. Yeah, she was just telling me about this marshmallow test, and I said, let's talk about it. I don't know it.
It's a very famous test of little kids, 4 and 5 years old, and it's a test to see how long they can hold out before they grab the marshmallow. And they're told, the kids are told, the marshmallow is put in front of them, and then the person, the therapist or whoever is doing the research or who's doing the test leaves the room, and they want to measure how long it takes before that kid will grab that. But the child is told beforehand, listen, if you can hold out for 4 minutes, you'll get 2 marshmallows. And so they know that if I can hold out, and you see these kids just looking at this marshmallow like,
like Happy looks at a bone.
Yeah, like, and it's just sitting there, and it's just sitting there, and it's 4 minutes is an endless amount of time for a child to be looking at a marshmallow, right? And some kids grab the marshmallow, and they follow these kids through life and find out that the people who can actually delay gratification, who can be like the dog and walk by the meat, they are much happier, much more successful in life than the people who just grab the marshmallow. Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing because in the teachings of Raj Yoga, Baba always says in the classes that what you're doing is not for now, it's for the future. Mm-hmm. And he says it over and over again, that all the charity and the donation that you're doing now isn't for you to receive anything physically now, but you will receive an abundance in the future. And sometimes we're like, give me the proof.
I can be proof of that. I can totally be proof of that. I can totally be proof of that in my own life. I mean, I have the most beautiful life now. It's not like I'm so rich or anything, but I have everything I need. And it wasn't always like that. And so to have, have this sense that I can trust the universe, that's taken a long time to know that, I'm not going to go hungry. I am not going to go homeless. Something about maybe feeding people for so many years or giving, doing a lot of seva in my ashram for years and years, that definitely, I live a good life now.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say that. I can honestly say that, and I look at people who are, we saw a woman like that today on the street.
Oh yeah, we were leaving the clinic today, and there was a lady who had 4 carts, and in the carts she had things that were stacked up in it, which were her only possessions. And she would pull each cart at a time as she's taking it down the road. And what I was sharing with Kanu, it was that she's just stuck in a thought. There's a thought that she won't let go of. And that thought is just, this is her world. Whatever are those items that she feels is so important to her. I think she lives on the streets.
Yeah, I think so too. And she was pulling each one
Each cart one at a time.
And then having to go leave like 10 feet of space and then go get another one and bring it up to, What a sad thing to see.
It's sad for us. It might be sad for us when we're seeing from outside in. But I believe now, and I could change later, everyone is going through a particular period as they're supposed to. There must be something inside of her beingness that has served her to feel comfortable on the streets. And she looked like she would be educated and had a great family and everything, but it's like maybe the family had reached a point that whatever they were trying to help her to get unstuck from, she was like, no, no. There was just something in repeating that thought that was serving something that would comfort her, kind of like an addict. Like when they take a cigarette or they drink some vodka or they take drugs, it's like, just for that moment, I'm fed that feeling over and over again, and despite everything that's falling apart. They're like, no, but that feeling, and you get stuck there. And I think we're talking about selfless service, and I feel that there's something that has become wired in our DNA spiritually, that we have become non-trusting about our future. And we don't trust our future, that the universe will give us back because we haven't been giving enough. So it's like you're repeating that particular tone in your life, that I don't trust the universe has much to give me back. Why? Well, I haven't given enough to the in the bigger picture of things. So how should I feel that I'm going to be protected? And I think this COVID or this pandemic is a big wake-up call for many of us to recognize, how much have I really been of seva? And I used to tell that to everyone in our community. And they used to always tell me, stop working so hard, stop working so hard. I go, I'm not working hard if I love what I'm doing. What is wrong with everyone? You know, and then they go, well, now you see you have an illness, so now you have to. I go, there are people who are doing nothing, and they have an illness. Don't tell me that. But the point that I'm making is that I always tell everybody in the community, do service. Use your time in a worthwhile way. There will come a time that you can't give back to society, to the world, at a physical level. You can now only do it from here. In order to develop the ability to serve mentally from here, you would have had to have been practicing thoughts of benevolence and good wishes over a long period of time. I'll do a little example with us today. All right, everyone, and I'll answer some of your questions on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. I would like you right now to take a moment to emerge someone in your life that you interpret in your wiring of your brain, right? That you're interpreting in your mind. When you think of them, they don't inspire confidence, they don't inspire love, they don't inspire happiness in you. And what I'd like you to do is to simply send them your blessings. And that's it. Just send them your blessing.
So cute.
Okay. Now I know that we're approaching a very interesting voting cycle or voting season. Some of us love the direction in which the country's going in. Some of us are afraid of the direction the country's going in. Some of us question the leadership of particular people on both sides of the fence. Let us send our thoughts of benevolence and good wishes to the leadership in this country, and let's observe how it makes us feel. right now when I look at where we are. Emotionally, spiritually, mentally, economically. It's so hard to give to anyone. Physically, there are not many events. You can't go out as much as you want to. You can't congregate as much as you used to. And the only thing we have left is the power of pure thoughts. And you don't know when I'm thinking well about you, but you could feel it.
Absolutely.
And if I'm having a bad thought about you, you could feel that too, which is not seva. It's not a good thing. So I feel that one of the things maybe we would like to leave you with tonight is the importance of practicing Manza Seva, which is service through your mind. To be able to walk around your home and without telling your spouse or your children or your in-laws, you're sending them your blessings or your good wishes. But throughout the day, just look at them when they least know that you're looking at them, and send them your highest thoughts about them. Send them your highest vibrations towards them, and see how that does service for you immediately. Kanu?
I am so absolutely moved by the power of blessings and the power of giving prayers for other people. I have friends that are going through difficult times, and it's sometimes, you can't necessarily go over and help somebody, and yet to just send them a blessing, to actually write it out in a text, or on a WhatsApp or an email, just an email blessing, just may you feel peace, may you feel health, may you feel the calmness. There's a power in the thought. Mm-hmm. It actually lands. It has the color and the shape of a blessing. Mm-hmm. If we could actually see the frequency of what a blessing looks like, with our eyes, the power of that positive energy landing in somebody else's heart, what an amazing thing to be able to give that to someone else. So it happens through our words, and it happens especially through the thought. As Sister Jenna was just saying, I know that it's really changed a lot of relationships that I have right now with people who, instead of just offering them condolences, I'm offering them blessings. And it changes things.
Yes, it does. So one of the aspects of selfless service is to begin to trust in the power of your positive and pure wishes for others, to keep sending it. I like how you said that if you could see the lighting and the color and the vibes and the whole energy of a blessing and a pure wish. I like that. Like, I was actually trying to visualize. Yeah. That must be one beautiful orb of vibration.
Can you imagine?
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Indescribable. Indescribable.
And the more powerful, the more energy we put into it, the more beautiful it becomes, and the more, what a great gift. Then you can really feel it. And there's so many people who need that now.
Yes, yes.
Who really, and we have the power to give it. Why not?
And not just to give the blessings to the ones we consider maybe a victim, but to really just give blessings to people we care about.
Yes.
That we love. And even for people who are strong, that you give them the blessing that may they continue to remain strong.
Absolutely.
That will really continue to keep us strong and flowing. All right, is that the other traffic control, Santosh? You want to turn that one down? That would be good. No, traffic control. So here are some thoughts from everyone. Louise Emoto shows how the molecular structure of water changes through vibrations. Yes. Yep, Louise, this is very, very true. Very, very true. All right, anyone else? Any thought? Asmita, I'm glad you're enjoying the session. Diane is on. Hi, Diane.
Hi, Diane.
Hey, Diane. Diane has a new TV show on Awake TV called Be Love Principles. Congratulations.
Yes, I think it's Thursday night at 7 p.m. I might be right.
Yeah, Thursday night at 7 p.m. You can put it in the comments list, Diane. Asmita says, thanks a lot, Sister Kanu and Sister Jenna, for such a wonderful session.
Oh.
One point came up just now when talking about animals. Why it's so difficult and hard for human beings. to show human virtues. If you can find that answer, Asmita, you send it.
I was just thinking that, Asmita, it seems like your answer is in the question. You should send it to us. There's wisdom in that question.
Because human beings are just a piece of work, let me tell you, Asmita. I was sharing with Kanu coming home today. I go, oh, I swear to you, life is just so overrated. Like, what? You wake up, you're happy, you're sad. There's victories, there are losses. You eat, you sleep. You go to the bathroom, you don't go to the bathroom. People like you, people don't like you. It's like, what's the purpose? You know, and then Kanu very sweetly just said, it's selfless service. That we were actually here to just keep bestowing our lives to give. And, you know, we've seen how the meditation museums and the work that we've done has survived because we're not thinking about, okay, economically, how does it keep going? We're like, well, let's just keep bestowing. Whatever comes back, okay, great, let it land. It'll be fine. But let us just be of service. That's our wealth. That's going to be your wealth, is to be able to always offer the smallest things. Imagine at home, husbands out there, if you see your wives are tired that day, imagine just turning to her and say, hun, you stay in the bed and sleep a little extra. I'll make us breakfast. That is selfless service.
Yeah. Such an act of love and appreciation to be able to get. I don't see enough appreciation. I have a thing about appreciation.
I know. We've had moments.
I do. I think it's so important to have gratitude. I love the whole thought of gratitude, but I don't want to be taken advantage of at the same time. I want it to come from me because I'm just offering it. I don't want to feel that I'm being used, you know?
Well, she's not being used.
Funny.
Like today.
Not in a negative way, no.
No. Today I did a panel interview with an incredible group of youth leaders, and Kanu had helped us to shape the questions and the topic. And the topic was really beautiful about youths that want to be at the table so that they can make decisions.
Be in the room where it happens.
Yeah, being in the room where it happens so that, you know, they have a voice. And so I actually used everything Kanu sent me today. So she's so royal, you know. She's like, so how did the interview go today? Did you use the questions that I gave you? And I went, yeah, I used all of them. Oh. So I'm just waiting for her to tell me something. So now we're all kind of getting drugged up with all of these nine bangles. And she goes, so did you use the title also that I gave you? And I said, yes, the title was fantastic. You did a great job.
That's all I wanted. Just a little acknowledgement.
Well, now you've got a global acknowledgement. All right, so you see, I know her.
See, nobody's free from total surrender. I'd like to believe that I'm on the road, but not always.
Anyway, so it was really lovely. Hey, Dr. Ivy, you're on today. Dr. Ivy does a wonderful sound spa. The only problem is it comes on when spiritual vaccine hour comes on.
Yes.
But hey, guess what? We are really seriously talking about coming to an end with spiritual vaccine hour and creating a whole new show and format for you. So stay tuned to that as we move towards just changing up the energy and making it feel like it's got more life and more energy. So stay tuned, and we're going to have folks like Dr. Ivy here to do her sound spa at some point.
Incredible.
So we want to kind of just create it. So it's just really going to be exciting. So it's so lovely. Just a shout out to everyone. Diane Hayward's show is Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on Awake TV. It's entitled How to Choose Love. And we have Dr. Ivy's Sound Spa, which I think is on Facebook pretty much on many nights at 7 p.m. for an hour. And she does a beautiful healing process. Beautiful. And it's a wonderful time. Piper, thank you for your good wishes. Be like God, but Piper is saying, though our human walk becomes self-centered and survival-based. Yes, so what happens is that we become so self-serving that we forget that life is actually bigger than our little box, I don't know, something that really gets me is when we think very small I don't know what it is. I feel like it's an injustice to God. And I know it sounds like I'm a dreamer or something, but I feel like when we don't think of the bigger picture of how we can be of service and be used by Baba, all I want is Baba to use me. It doesn't matter if it's in a shack or if it's in a $50 million mansion, just use me. And I feel that when we become so self-serving, when it's just about the me and the I, it's like Baba's energy can't work through us enough. Baba's light doesn't work through us because there's so much attachment to the I and the me and the mine that it's only what I want first, and then I'll see if I can help you.
Yeah.
And one of the things I've loved about the individuals that we choose to come on America Meditating Radio is that I intuitively sense, is this a child of God that is of service? And that's what makes the energy of the folks that we bring into the AM vortex unlike anywhere else in the world. You will not find another group of people like that. And I know it's because we look for that sincerity and that purity of presence in the way that they show up to be of service to the world. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's show and conversation. Give us some thumbs up. Do you have any closing remark on what we should do to develop our art of selfless service?
Oh, wow. I was just going to say thank you to everybody for watching and being here and taking the time out of, this precious time of the day to actually be here with us and be in the conversation with us. Thank you for sharing it. This is just a privilege to be used this way and to be brought in. So thank you for being a part of it.
And always thank you, everyone, for showing up so beautifully and so sweetly. Jennifer Scotland, I'm not forgetting you, and the Rally Show. Everyone, Indu, Antonia's in Delaware. I think she's going to look for Joe Biden. But Louise, of course, Asmita, Yesvi, Mercedes, so nice to have you. Everyone who comes on regularly, so nice to have you with us. Mukta, Kailesh, Miss Rue, nice to have you. Julie Johnson, Susanna, Om Shanti, Samantha, Lori, Parveen, Wendy, the list goes on. Brinda, Jermaine, Nikhil Kumar, Om Shanti, and thank you. You should be receiving your gifts pretty soon for those who won their prize, and pretty soon we're going to be also having Bonnie Meyer, who's the author of Perfectly Paired on Air, and she's going to be giving away free books to each and every one of you, so you're going to look forward to that. So I'm looking forward to the new show, and I'll miss Spiritual Vaccine Hour, but I will be welcoming our new format that hopefully will be coming really, 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 really soon. Lakshmi's still here, and this morning in the kitchen I felt she was leaving, and I was just sending this positive thought, no, not yet. I know I look good, I know I look healthy, just no, not yet. She's like, okay, maybe one more day. So everybody send vibrations that Lakshmi stays a little bit longer. And she has permission by her beautiful, beautiful husband, Ram, to stay just a few more days. So hopefully I'll get that wish fulfilled. Anyway, maybe I'm getting spoiled. That's what it is.
Thank you, Ram.
Yes, thank you, Ram. We really appreciate it. And thanks to Sister Dolly in Cinnamon Sun, who also is cooperating with having her here, because I know she's a big hand for the Meditation Center in Cinnamon Sun, New Jersey. All right. So thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight. Hope you enjoyed this evening's little conversation and play. This evening. All right. Take good care, and please remember, find a way to get active in this particular voting cycle. Get your votes out earlier than later. Don't wait for the last moment. I swear every night I'm going to play that video of Own Your Vote. Go out there and vote, 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 vote. Early voting, early voting, early voting. All in. Put it all in. Get a place at the table. If you don't vote, you're not going to get at the table. And for those of you out there who are Democrats, Republican, progressives, it doesn't matter. Vote. I don't care if you like or don't like the candidate that has been elected for the nomination to run for president this particular cycle. Vote. Vote for who you feel will bring something into your life that helps your future to be brighter. Vote for safety. Vote for empathy. Vote for inclusion. Vote for integrity. Vote for the things that you believe in. And hopefully things will just be what they need to be. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but just get active. Okay? Good
Selflessly active.
Selflessly active.
For the greater good of the country. We need this.
More than ever. Take care, everyone.
I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I love myself like a newborn baby child. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I love myself like a baby child. And I will only go as fast gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I rock myself